I'm going to share something very personal, very traumatic from my childhood, and it's important because it relates to the topic of this video, that is gratitude. So if hearing traumatic childhood experience, particularly abuse, is hard for you, then rather don't listen and just understand the gratitude part. I'll let you know when I'm going to share the difficult story. For now, we're just going to talk about gratitude. I've been told always that one should keep internet videos short, below 3 minutes, and this is something important for me to share, so we'll probably go over that. Why I'm sharing the video is that, or this thought about gratitude, for many, whether you know me or not, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've been sober for 10 years, over 10 years. And through my experience, and the person really that I'm making this video for, to share my experience, is someone that's struggling with their recovery, or struggling with addiction, or just struggling. And one of the greatest gifts I ever got in my life was the gift of gratitude, and the ability to be grateful, irrespective of what has happened. And just as an example, I drove into my building. I parked in my parking bay. My parking bay happens to be next to where they leave the shopping trolleys that are available for people to use in the building, and people are always leaving the shopping trolleys in my parking bay. So I have to get up out of the vehicle, move the trolley, get back in my vehicle and park. And I can choose to be pissed off about it, or I can choose to remember the times where I didn't actually have a place to live, and a friend gave me an apartment to stay in when I'd lost everything in business, when I'd been wiped out. I slept on the floor in this apartment without furniture for 8 months. I can choose to remember those moments, be grateful for the beautiful home that I have now to come to, and the fact that I have a beautiful vehicle to drive that I love and I'm very grateful for, and a parking bay to park it in. I saw a kid earlier. I went to a lecture tonight, and I went to go get a cup of coffee beforehand, and there was a street child. And this was a kid that was recently on the street. He had nothing, he had no parents, no one to care for him. And I spent a bit of time, and I spoke to him, and I bought him some food, and I gave him a little bit of money. And this was not a kid with any ill intent. This was a child that was stuck on the street, and I'm very grateful for what I have, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to help. And in recovery, the different steps that I went through over the years, firstly was working the program, following the rules, not drinking, and that helped and greatly improved the quality of my life and added value to my life. And then that became service. So sharing at meetings, talking, allowing recovering addicts to train in my gym, and those who couldn't afford to didn't pay at that time. And that was how I tried to fulfill my service. And that moved from service to gratitude. And my thoughts were, prior to that, the greatest thing that we have in our recovery to keep ourselves sober is service. And I believe in that emphatically, that service is a cornerstone, is key to keeping us sober. But what I've realized over the few years after that, the initial realization of service is the next step, is gratitude. Gratitude is what will enable us to build a solid quality life for ourselves. And one of the things my late mother gave me, which was a gift, was what she would call the glad game, that we should always play the glad game, irrespective of how bad things were. Pick out some things that you're glad for. And that, to me, and I've made that now, gratitude. and that I'm grateful for everything that I have. And if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling down, I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling stressed, and this has been the most challenging. 2017 and the end of 2016 has been the most challenging part of life of my year. Year of my life. It's been a long day, and I'm a little bit under the weather. So if I'm not making sense or sounding a bit raspy, I'll correct myself as I go. An incredibly difficult year. Getting divorced, my ex-wife getting engaged within 6 months of the divorce, these things, questioning myself, my value, having put my heart and soul into that relationship and worked it hard. But I'm grateful for the lessons and the experiences I got out of it, and that has got me through. And why gratitude for me is so important, and why I'm wanting to share this with you, is that when we are grateful, it just improves the quality of our life. When you are grateful, you aren't resentful, you aren't bitter, you aren't angry. And all of those emotions we're allowed to feel, and we can feel. But if they rule our lives, they'll destroy the quality of our lives. And gratitude is what, for me, enables me to build the quality of life that I'm wanting to build. Irrespective of how challenging and difficult this year is, and I nearly lost my business, the gym. I was hugely behind on rentals and on installments because I just didn't have the energy to go out and pursue new business. All of these things. I think if I wasn't grateful for what I had, for the client base and the work that I had done, the work that I was able to do, and the people that I had around me, I would have packed it in. Maybe that's the thing. When you're grateful, you don't quit. When you are grateful for an experience, you don't quit. Whether that's training exceptionally hard for something and suffering in the gym and in pain and agony and wanting to lose your lunch, and being grateful for that experience and that opportunity, and realizing that you're not going to get a chance to do this workout or that training session ever again. Being grateful enough to stick it out will help get you through. I realize that and this is the difficult thing that I'm going to talk about. So if difficult things in childhood abuse and that are uncomfortable for you, I would say turn off the video now. Thank you for listening, and just work for yourself to find a way to be grateful for everything that you're experiencing. Someone cuts you off in traffic, be grateful for the ability to drive your car. Be grateful for being able to get out of bed in the morning and walk to your car. There's simple things, and it's easy to find things to be grateful for. You just have to look. And being grateful for things doesn't detract from the difficulties that we feel in our lives. It doesn't lessen them, but it also doesn't but it makes them not seem so insurmountable. So my late mother was a drug addict, and marijuana and prescription drugs. And one of the things that she would do would be to send me off to her, I would assume her dealers. I was about 5 or 6 years old at the time. And this was in the Cape Flats. These were gangsters, and these guys would drug me and gang rape me. The memories that have come back, there would be like 10, 12 guys in a bedroom. I think I was a party favor and a party trick. And this happened multiple times. One of the challenging things that I'm dealing with is trying to get my head around the fact that I kept going back. I didn't protest because I wanted to make my mother happy. I wanted her to love me. These are things for perhaps another time and another discussion. But you talk about a 6-year-old boy, 5-year-old boy being gang raped and drugged and being in this most horrendous situation again and again. And I remember trying to crawl out of the room one day and going to the kitchen, and there was this old lady sitting in the kitchen, and trying to ask her for help, and just someone coming up behind me and lifting me up off the ground. I was completely powerless, and carrying me back into the bedroom so they could continue doing what they were doing. And they were laughing and joking, and to them, I think it was a party. And I found gratitude even in this. The fact that I did not end up in a shallow grave in a sand dune somewhere on the Cape Flats, and that I got sent back to my mother or collected by her, whatever, that I don't know. But the fact that I wasn't murdered and just dumped, and the fact that I can talk to you now as a 46-year-old man, having lived the challenging life that I have, and having gone through the other experiences that I have gone through, I'm still grateful for that, because I get something now to do something about my life. And where before I was completely, in that situation, completely powerless, drugged, weak physically compared to these grown men, that they could just pick me up off my feet and there was nothing I could do. The fact that I wasn't killed and that I was brought back to my mother, and my life went on and I'm here, that I'm grateful for. So the reason I'm sharing this very personal story with you is that find the gratitude in every situation, every experience, irrespective of what you're going through. And I'm not saying that my experience is worse than anyone else's. I'm just trying to share with you that by finding the gratitude, it improved the quality of my life, and it has helped me. And I think we all deserve to build quality lives for ourselves, and gratitude is a wonderful tool for that. So thank you for letting me share, and if you feel that this video will help, then with someone that is having a difficult time, or someone could benefit by hearing it, then please do share it. And I'm grateful for you giving me your 13 minutes of your time, and I hope that in some way that this message can help you. And that again, for me, is another reason to be grateful that I have the opportunity to share this, where I've been told, many times, don't share such personal things about your life. Well, I do, and I want to, and I'm going to, because it's through sharing and talking that people realize they're not alone in their experience, and that there are people that are willing to talk and share as well. And it's a wonderful thing that when you find someone that you can talk to and you can share your experience and that'll listen, even if it's just a journal. So thank you, and I appreciate your time, and I'm grateful for the fact that you have taken the time to watch this video. Thank you.